Coming up, want to know how to make it in the app business? Well, you're going to discover 3 keys to ensuring that your business survives the ever-changing world of the app space. Stay tuned. What is up, App Nation? It is your boy, Steve P. Young, founder of AppMasters.com, the place you go when you want action-packed content in the app business. And we just got done wrapping up a summit, a virtual summit, and then a retreat in Bali. So I've just been surrounding myself with some amazing people, amazing minds in the app space to really learn from them, digest that content, and tell you what's working today in the app space. And in this video, I really want to cover 3 key things that you got to focus on to really thrive in the app business. All right, so let's get to this. Number 1, retention. I know I talk a lot about growth, but growth can't happen. Sustained growth can't happen without retention, because the basis part is retention. And then on top of that is monetization. The more you retain users, the more you're able to make money. And the more money you're able to make, the more you're able to use that for growth. So all that drives, all that big cycle is driven by retention. Okay, everything starts with number 1, retention, because you really can't drive sustained growth without that core retention piece, because sustained growth comes from monetization, and you can't monetize without retention. Look, guys, I'll cover retention more in depth in another video, but know what I want to tell you now is the number 1 way to get users to come back to your app is through push notifications. In fact, over 60% of Android users and 45% of iOS users opt in to receive push notifications. Okay, so it's very key. And in another video, I'll show you, I think I've already done this, but I'll show you how to properly ask for that push notification. Number 2, subscriptions. All right, it's very key. Look, during our App Masters retreat in Bali, this was the big theme of the retreat, and it makes sense, obviously, right? There are a lot of signs pointing to why retention is going to be a big thing. It's going to be the pricing model moving forward. Obviously, SaaS products, they all do retention. People love it. People love investing in apps and businesses that have recurring revenue. So it just makes sense. And I'll tell you a few key signs of why subscriptions are going to be so key. Did I say retention? Subscriptions are going to be so key, okay? Apple is starting to take less. You know, their normal cut is 30%, but after the first year that your app has been using subscriptions, after the first year, they're going to take, if you retain your users, they're going to just take 15%. So your user, if they stay on for a year, you're only going to have to pay Apple 15%, okay? Now, during my interview with Eric Seifert, who during my virtual summit, he was starting to talk about how games should start utilizing subscriptions too. So once games start using it, and they're making a ton of money, right? Once games start using it, you're going to see that. If you look at the top grossing charts, you're going to see the top ones. I would say, I don't know the exact numbers, but the top ones all have subscriptions. So that's Netflix, that's HBO Go, that's Hulu, all Pandora, they all have subscriptions, and they are now the top grossing apps in the App Store, okay? Subscriptions. And the obvious part is that once you have a good subscriber base, okay, as long as you're not losing a whole lot of people every month, you're not churning out users every month, you've got a base of revenue that you can just take to the bank. So all you got to do is focus on bringing in more users, more subscribers, and losing less. And man, your pile of cash just keeps growing and growing and growing. And that's what makes subscriptions so attractive to business owners like ourselves, and also to investors if that's where you want to go, and even to acquirers as well. So if you're thinking about a new app idea, think about how you can monetize through subscriptions. Doesn't make sense for everything, but I'm sure there's a clever way that you can do it. Number 3, Google UAC. That's right, I said it. Google Universal App Campaigns. All right. Again, this was a big theme from my virtual summit. A lot of the bigger guys, a lot of my bigger guests from the virtual summit said they were taking a lot of their Facebook money and putting it onto Google, right? And what they're saying is they're seeing a lot better results from Google UAC than they were on Facebook. Now, Facebook is all the rage because the targeting is insane, but now that they're starting to say they're moving, that's the key thing that I heard was they're moving some of that Facebook budget into Google. We really have to start paying attention to it. So if you're not familiar with Google UAC, all you got to do is provide a few lines of text, give some design assets, so banners, maybe even a video, and that's it. Google will do the rest. They'll get it. They'll automatically figure out where to put it based on your budget and based on your CPI targets. They'll decide whether to put it on search, their normal mobile or web search. They'll Google Play, YouTube, and even the Google Display Network. So you don't have to do a thing. They're going to programmatically display your ads on these things, on these different networks to see which one performs the best. And like I said, the big guys are seeing tremendous results from Google UAC. Now, the downside for us indies is that it requires a bit of money to really start figuring out which networks are going to work. So you're usually going to have to front up about $5,000 just to get any type of results. But after that, obviously, you start performing a lot better. So if you can do a $5,000 test to see so that Google can figure stuff out, and then later on, they'll start optimizing for it. That's just the downside for us indies. But the upside is, look, a lot of the bigger guys aren't using it yet. So this is our time to start, really get in there. They're already talking about it. They're already talking about using it. So it is our time to really get in there before they do. That's very key for us indie guys. We have to have first mover advantage, because once the big budgets come through, it's not going to work out for us anymore. All right, that's it, guys. 3 simple tips to really help you thrive in the app business. I'm going to recap it real quick. Number 1, retention. Really focus on bringing your users back into the app, building a really quality app that people want to use, and make sure they come back and they don't forget about you as well. Number 2, I do believe that the subscription business model is going to be the model that really helps you thrive in the app space. And while we all hate subscriptions as a consumer, I've got a ton: Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Scribd, we all have them. But doing that from a business perspective also makes sense for you. And lastly, check out Google UAC. It may require a little bit more budget than you may be willing to fork over, but if you do have that budget, because I know you're in the audience, those who have a little bit more budget than the other guys, definitely start testing it out, because the big guys have already said to me that it's worked out for them. So it is definitely worth checking out. Like I said, what I do best is surround myself with really awesome people, focus on what I can do best, right? I focus on ASO, Apple features, and different growth hacks, focus on all these little things that I do best, which is creating content and talking to these amazing people. But I surround myself with amazing people who share, because I share so much, they share a lot of content with me. And so I'm able to digest. And when I hear common themes, that's when I spit it back out. If somebody just tells me one thing, I'm like, okay, that's cool. But if tons of people, if I'm starting to hear from all these other people that this platform or this thing is taking off, well, that's when I start paying attention. And Google UAC is that thing. When a lot of people are telling me this, they're like, hey, we have to go check this out. So I've been telling my clients that as well. All right, guys, again, if you are liking my stuff, definitely hit subscribe. And we have an app launch checklist that you can get absolutely free. All you got to do, give an email address and we'll send it off to you. But go check it out. It's appmasters.com. If you just put in your email address in there, you'll get that PDF. And then if you want to talk, we can talk as well. All right. Until next time, I will see you on the next video.